Hey guys, my name is Tony Paradis. I'm a licensed and registered dietitian with Food and Fitness in Flower Mound. At Food and Fitness, we bridge the gap between nutrition and exercise, so check us out. Today's topic is Super Size Me Not. We're talking about restaurants, fast food, and 3 super effective strategies for managing your weight when you dine out. Okay, so you may be asking, if I'm on a diet, if I'm trying to lose weight, where does restaurants and dining out fit into my lifestyle? Well, it's not the 1960s anymore, and your mom's not, making every dinner from scratch, and only one person in the household is working. People are busier, jobs are more demanding, especially people with families. You have more activities going on with your kids, and convenience is a big part into making a diet, or I don't even like that term, a lifestyle change in being effective with your nutrition program. So we have to be able to use that convenience. Nutrition and fast food go together, and we're going to talk about how you can do that effectively. All right, so starting off, number one, I want to talk about, are restaurants evil? Are they out to get us? And you may have seen some documentaries like Super Size Me, with McDonald's, where he went there every day and it got him really fat and unhealthy. And does that mean that restaurants are necessarily inherently evil? Are there the CEOs of restaurants, are they getting together in a mountain volcano somewhere in the distance plotting on how to give America diabetes? The answer is, of course, no. That's a silly notion. This is based on supply and demand. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's would love to serve us primarily salads, roasted vegetables, lean proteins, those kinds of things if we wanted it. But we don't. When people, on average, go through a drive-through window, they're getting the burger, they're getting the fries, they're getting the large Coke, because it's what people want. If people didn't want that, they wouldn't serve it. So it's really just based on supply and demand. So they're not inherently evil. They're not out to get you. Can you still succeed and dine out? Well, it's easy to overeat. It's easy when it's just a few extra cents to supersize your order, and especially when you like that food that has the extra calories in it, so it's just going to be harder. In a few studies I looked at, and guys, I'm going to link all my studies below so you can double check them for yourselves if you want to. Increasing the frequency of fast food restaurants has been associated with obesity and all those deleterious health effects that go along with that. So if you do overeat and you do become obese, yes, it can lead to bad health effects, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, and that's why we're going to move on and get closer to those 3 effective strategies for losing weight while dining out. So is success possible? Is it even possible to dine out and still maintain or lose your weight? Yes, it is possible. Is it probable? We'll get into that. But number one is, just because the nutrition facts label are shown to somebody, or because you know that the food is going to be a high-calorie food, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be a deterrent in your food choices. So in another study I looked at, they gave the nutrition facts label to people, and overall they used taste and flavor as their guideline for choosing the foods rather than the nutrition facts. This was especially true in men. But mindful eating is possible. I have another study I looked at that showed that women that were given a conscious eating program were able to reduce the amount of calories that they had when they were dining out, and that was reflective in their fat loss. So it is possible. It isn't possible if you don't want it. So you have to make that conscious effort. You have to be educated and to make it applied. You have to use application. If you have all that knowledge and you don't apply it, it doesn't do you a darn bit of good. Okay, so let's talk about those 3 strategies for success so that you can lose weight, or at the very least maintain your weight while you're dining out. Number 1 is count your calories before you order. You have to count your calories before you order because intuitive eating doesn't work. You can't just go and feel it out and say, I'm going to stop eating when I get full. As a general rule of thumb, people are very poor detectors of their hunger cues, of how many calories they've had, and in a research study I looked at, it just doesn't pan out. So how can you be more effective? You can count your calories and take a more direct approach to your weight loss. Remember that it's calories in versus calories out when you want to lose weight, and so counting your calories before you order and sticking to your plan, making that wise choice, is number one most effective strategy. Let's talk a little bit about eating behaviors and mindless eating. Now, you may not think that you fall into this group, but everybody does. When you eat off of a larger plate, when you eat bigger portions and have that in front of you, you're going to eat more calories. Whether you think you are or not, remember that intuitive eaters are not successful. Counting calories is much more successful. This kind of goes along the same line of using a smaller plate. You can use the opposite effect to be more successful. A smaller plate will help you to eat less. So what I recommend and what I found successful in a lot of my clients, I have a private practice and I help people with weight loss, building muscle, all those sorts of things. And of course, dining out is going to be a part of that in most people's lives. Asking for your to-go box at the beginning of the meal. This is very effective because what you can do is you can get a smaller plate and your to-go box, take a portion of your food that you're getting and put it away in your to-go box. Hey, or you can just throw it away, but if you don't want to waste food, you can put it in a to-go box. What you're doing is you're changing your environment, you're changing the size of your plate and the size of the food that's in front of you, and you're going to be more effective, hands down. It works for a lot of my clients. If you guys haven't tried it yet, I would really recommend giving it a shot. And finally, number 3 is don't go full throttle. You don't have to eat like it's your last night on planet Earth and you have to get all the food in that you want at the same time. Dining out doesn't have to be about that. But if you're dining out like most families, most of my clients, when they come to me for weight loss, they're dining out about 4, 5, 6 times a week. Okay? And that's not necessarily even counting the times that you go out for lunch or counting like a corporate lunch meeting in there too. We've become heavily reliant on dining out, and if you don't start using some of these tips for success, you're not going to see progress. So don't go full throttle. You have an opportunity to order an appetizer, a drink, and a dessert when you eat out along with your entree. If you choose all 3 of those things, the appetizer, dessert, and a drink, that's going to add up to so many calories. That's going to just make it very hard to maintain a caloric deficit. Choose one. If you must, choose one. I would rather you just have the entree and count your calories and put part of it away, 20 to 30% of it in your to-go box. If you must do something, just choose one. Have that entree or have a drink or have a dessert. And that's going to set you guys up for success. Alright, let's conclude. Let me give you guys just some practical information. Is most people can't dine out and lose weight. Okay? And what I mean by that is that this is taking the human component and self-control into account. Unless you have a very measurable goal that you're trying to reach and you're willing to make some serious changes, which most people aren't, it's hard to just go and intuitively eat, dine out, and lose weight. Also because it's hard to estimate the amount of calories. What they put on the website for the amount of calories or what they put into your calorie tracking program may not be the same amount of calories that end up on your plate. Oftentimes they give you more calories, more food, the chef is adding more oil, or what have you. I like to look at dining out with my clients as a better way if you use these strategies to maintain your weight, okay? Unless you're just sticking to something very regimented, if you incorporate these strategies, you're going to be able to maintain your weight a little better. Number 2 is that small changes add up. So you don't have to start doing all 3 of these changes. Maybe right now you order that dessert and a drink and you order 2 drinks. Okay, just cut back to 1. That's going to start making a big change over time. And number 3 kind of leads into this, is look at both frequency and amount. Okay, if you tend to overeat when you go to a restaurant, which most people do, and you probably fall into that category, if you just reduce the amount of times that you're going to dine out, you can be more effective. Also, the amount of food that you order, which we just went over, if you reduce that, that'll make you more effective as well. So those are my 3 tips for being able to lose weight, or at the very least maintain your weight while you're on a calorie cut and you're trying to dine out. Guys, please subscribe if you liked this video. Check out my references below. Check out the article attached with this below on my website at foodandfitnessonline.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. If you like recipes, check us out on Pinterest. And finally, if you want, get a free copy of my ebook. I'm giving that to you guys if you go to my website, foodandfitnessonline.com/free newsletter. If you sign up for my newsletter, which I give you recipes, workout tips, discounts on my training, discounts on my nutrition services, you're also going to get a free copy of Lean for Life, Bridging the Gap Between Nutrition and Exercise, on my ebook. Once again, my name is Tony Paradis. I'm a licensed and registered dietitian with Food and Fitness here in Flower Mound. At Food and Fitness, we bridge the gap between nutrition and exercise. So the next time you're eating out, apply those 3 simple tips for being able to lose weight, or at the very least maintain your weight, and you're going to start seeing success in incorporating a lifestyle change and not just a diet. Thank you.